Alrighty guys, we have something new that I'm going to be doing here. Not new, it's just going to be something that I'm not going to rarely do on this channel. But guys, it is heartbreaking to see that we've had 3 mass shootings already within the United States since January. 3 shootings that have had at least 4 or more killings in the United States. All 3 of them have been coming from a school of some sort. We see a lot of that happen in the United States. Way more than any other place, because where do you see a lot of people gather? The majority of people will gather, young ones, adults, even teenagers will gather around in school. And you're going to see it happen. We see it happen a lot in the United States. There are a lot of things where people don't, or people will pass things off as, oh, this is not true. They're going to falsely accuse people of saying that this was never true. This was an intent of somebody else, or this was the intent of that the FBI is setting up to do this, or things like that. And I'm going to tell you right now, no. If you want to believe that you can believe that all you want, but I'm not going to believe it. I will never believe anything of that nature. But I wanted to talk about, not because of that, but I'm also talking about today because the mass shooting that happened was basically the 3 things that were going on today. I want to...
but unsure what.
Since January 6th, okay, mind you, you had the school shooting in Virginia, you had a school shooting in Michigan on February 13th, and then you had a school shooting in Tennessee. Now, to be honest with you guys, I'm just going to tell you this, that's just in schools in general. I'm not talking just schools, I'm talking that there are times where there are other places that where people are going to shoot people whether they want to or not. We need to be better about being more vigilant and protecting ourselves in things like this. Saying that we have the opportunity to, say, we go to a hospital, you might see it there too. You're going to see it wherever there's where there's a lot of people gathering, is where it's going to happen a lot of times. Not just in school, but you'll see it at airports. You could see it at not only airports, you could see it at a bank, at a mall, some place where a lot of people are going to gather. It's going to be, you're going to see it a lot of times. But what I'm saying is that the other thing is it doesn't matter who it is that's going to shoot people. Okay? We had this recent one that happened pretty much yesterday. Or whenever this is going out, March 27th, pretty much. Yeah, yesterday. Because today's the 28th. When this is actually physically going out. To be honest with you guys, this sometimes puts me in a depressing mood. And that's why I haven't posted here in a while. Is not just because of school shootings, but because of the things that are going on in this world, in this country. With the LGBTQ laws and things. And just seeing yesterday makes it even worse. Seeing that happen, because seeing that trans people are going to be targeted because, oh, they're seen as a bad people, they're seen as harmful people. And I'm going to tell you, that's not the case. Just because you identify as gay, lesbian, bi, LGBT, part of the LGBTQ community, whether you are white, whether you are black, whether you are man, woman, whether you are 15, 20, 50, doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter what demographic you are, there is always going to be a chance at any point in time that somebody is going to snap, somebody's going to have a bad time in life, somebody's going to take their aggression out at somebody, and it's not a good idea. If you are thinking of contemplating a lot of things in life, first off, if you are doing a lot of things, wanting to feel like that you're going to harm somebody, don't do it. Make sure that if you do feel like that, get some help, get some mental help. There are a lot of ways you can do this. Um, you know, sometimes we see shootings because of cops, and a lot of people are saying cops aren't great people. I'm going to tell you right now, not all cops are bad, not all cops are good. Okay? Not everybody on this planet Earth is perfect. Not a single one. I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes it's best not to be in your weapons or guns in your place. Because if you feel like you're down spiraling, make sure you get away from the guns. Make sure that you get away from a lot of that stuff. Because, I know it is tough. And this is part of the reason why I don't like guns in myself. And why I think guns shouldn't be restricted, of course. But I think it should be restricted in some manner, shape, or form. I actually don't want guns totally restricted. Today is all about like governmental stuff. And the last thing I'm gonna say here, guys, is like, look, seeing TikTok getting banned in this country is not something I want either. I don't want our freedom of speech taken away. I don't want our freedom of guns taken away either. I want us to have a lot easier access for red flag laws and things to help put better laws to instead of banning things, put more laws into help in getting that help. Mental health. Allowing trans kids to be themselves instead of harming them. Because I think a lot of that resentment that happened yesterday is because of a lot of these laws that are going around. It put me down a while, and that's why I haven't posted on YouTube or anything. I basically just came down and recorded on Twitch for the last 3 weeks. I haven't uploaded content because I've just been so bummed and not really wanting to do much of anything. Okay? I've gotten back to myself the last little bit. And I've been feeling like that I am able to be myself. And if I can be myself, guys, tomorrow, guys, this is going to probably be the last video you guys might see of me, before HRT. No, this will be the last recorded video of my face prior to getting HRT. This will be the last recorded video, because I'm not going to post anything, but this will be the last one, because the Final Fantasy VII stuff will be posted after this. Gotta update some of those games, gotta put it up there, gotta make sure that we have everything, because if I don't, I might just go to the backlog of things and go back to that episode of what was recently uploaded, and we'll just go from there. Because I have it stored, I have it saved on my PlayStation 5, and I'll probably just redo it on Twitch, because, guys, I live stream on Twitch, pretty much the first thing I do all the time now. I'm not going to sit here, if I end up going to where I wanted to go, I'll probably more than likely just do Twitch and not worry about having to upload and things like that, because I'm just tired of, it's mostly part of it is me being lazy, but not really. The last 3 weeks have really been put down, even when I started kind of tapering off on doing releases, I was really depressed, and I'm still kind of am, because it's sad that, the biggest thing that saddens me a lot in this country is that LGBTQ rights are being diminished in this country. The freedom of speech is being diminished in this country. The freedom that we are experiencing in the United States is at risk. And I'm not joking. Because I'm not going to say just Republicans, I'm not just going to say Democrats, I'm going to say both of them. You see Democrats and you see Republicans, they're both at odds at trying to reduce our freedom in this country. The whole reason why I would simply leave this country is because of one biggest thing. LGBTQ rights are not being subjective enough and being protected in this country. Parental rights by, I see more government trying to step in for parental rights. Parental rights in this country is ridiculous. Look, by government standards. They say they're giving parental rights when they're not. They're making government. This country is not leaning towards a. This country is not leaning towards a socialistic country, or leaning. It is more leaning like a communistic country that is being totally redundant. You see drag shows being removed because these politicians hate them. Because these politicians decide that they want to be rude and hateful towards them. It's not fair for LGBTQ to be destroyed. It is not fair that we have to allow our kids, that we can't allow our kids to be on after a certain amount of time. Look, I don't mind that we need to have that set up as parents, not as a part of the United States. Look, because we see kids on the internet, or we see kids on TikTok or whatever overnight, or things like that. Look, there are things in place that we can put into these apps. If we make it so that all of these places that have to require parental settings in all of our devices and stuff and all these apps, I think we would have a lot more time in allowing for adults to parent, instead of allowing for banning of time zone. And look at China. China only allows 1 hour a day. Utah, overnight, they're removing that ability. I am not standing for a communistic country. I will not stand for it. I will not stand for anything of that nature. Look, we're trying to combat mental illness in this. We're trying to combat things and saying that social media is the issue. Social media is not the issue in this world. It's not social media. It's not these things in the same thing. It is that we have a right to decide on what we do with our time. Social media platforms, we should be geared towards less time on social media, but we shouldn't be putting kids at risk of this. The problem I have, a lot of it, is losing the freedom of speech, the freedom to speak our minds. TikTok is one of the examples that these politicians don't know what they're talking about, and this is the whole reason why I cannot stand with politicians in this country. Because we not only in the United States, but we also see Canada doing news articles and forcing Google to pay a fair share for it. Or we see things that are going on like this. Look, to be honest with you, I don't like it when we are forced at the hands of the helm of our politicians. Let's get in touch with your local politician, help them keep your freedoms. If you aren't able to, you have ways of doing so. Write them a letter. Send it off to your local government. Send it off to help them to understand things. Because, with this school shooting, we're seeing shootings happen all the time. Biden wants to remove assault weapons, automatic rifles. That's gonna deter less. Not really. Because, to be honest with you, you have a pistol, you can rapidly shoot that if you know how to do it. I'm pretty sure you can figure things out how to do things. To be honest with you, it doesn't take a rocket science. It doesn't take a gun person who doesn't like guns. Like, I don't like guns, but am I gonna get rid of guns just because it's my duty to get rid of them? No, it's not my duty. It's just because I don't like guns doesn't make it right for somebody else to go and remove guns. Or doesn't make it right for somebody else to go and remove those guns. Or say that they should remove me because I don't like guns. To be honest with you, I don't like guns. I don't like it when our freedom is taken away. And these politicians don't care about your freedom. Florida is an example of a politician that is bad for the United States. Governor Ron DeSantis, I don't care. I don't live in Florida. He can't come after me. If he wants to, he can. If he wants to, he can try. I don't live in Florida. I can talk to all about him all I want. See, that's the thing. Politicians that say they want to reduce our laws of freedom is ridiculous. Banning books in school because they might have sexual things in it, they should have already been reviewed before they were submitted into allowing them in school in the first place. But guess what? They were allowed in school because of what? Saying that we have LGBTQ books not being allowed in school, like I Am Jazz, would be considered something that shouldn't be allowed in school. All they're doing is just trying to get rid of people, harm people, and put things in a sad way. I don't care if you're a religious person. Your religious beliefs shouldn't be forced on somebody else's religious beliefs. I don't force my religious beliefs on somebody. Getting rid of abortion was something that I didn't agree with. But at the same time, because you're going to see bad people not being able to get access to abortion when they absolutely have to have it. Okay? There are going to be bad people that are going to use that for necessity reasons because they're what? They're going to use it because it might be against the sin of your religion. Teach about it in your religion. Teach about it and make sure that they know about it. But don't teach it and force it on governmental agencies or force it on government to be at the forefront of this. The government is there supposed to protect us as a citizens. Okay? They're not protecting our free speech. We don't have free speech in the United States anymore, and I feel like that it's being diminished every day. We don't have the rights with trans people being able to be themselves. We're gonna see LGBTQ people be dwindled in the United States to the point that it's gone. Uganda's doing the same thing. Banning LGBTQ people is setting a precedence in this world that we are not willing and wanting to protect all life. I'm just really sick and tired of it, guys. To be honest with you, this is the whole reason why I have put myself and why I am saying this to you guys is because I am done. I am done trying to put myself away from this. I don't care. I voted for my governor, Christine Home. I voted for her family value. Guess what? She has ruined the family value. She has ruined families in South Dakota. But banning transgender people in the country, in the state, it has really, really, and I'm talking kids, it just seems really dumb. Because these politicians don't know anything. They're being forced by the hands of political agendas from companies that don't want to see this. Look, I'm glad that Disney is putting their thing. If they see Disney lose out on Florida, Florida's going to see a big, if Disney decides to shut down and literally destroy and demolish the entirety of its park down there, good. Because you want to know why? It would send a message to Ron DeSantis that he is willing and wanting to harm his economy in Florida, to harm them, to make it a decision that people don't get it. You're going to harm these things because you're not willing and wanting to allow economies to thrive. Putting people at risk is making it hard for the economies and for the people to just want to be. Seeing things like that, it just really bothers me. Seeing that we have to focus on things that are parental rights are being harmed in this country, and I can't stand. I know I'm repeating myself over and over in this, But this is really ridiculous. Seeing people being forced in the head. Say, yes, have I ever been to a drag show? No. But am I going to say no to drag shows? No. Am I going to say no? Should I start banning video games that are suggestive for kids that kids shouldn't be allowed to be playing because of what? Because they're violent? M-rated games, or watching a TV show, or watching things that have violence in them, or having things that are like Grand Theft Auto, or things that are similar to that. Seeing that, should I start banning those games because they're being what? They're seeing kids being deciding of it? That's not the issue. The issue is not being able to have access to mental health in this country. Not allowing kids to be transgender and allow them to harm themselves and when you harm them, you're harming not just them. You think you're harming them, you're not. You're harming more than just the child. Saying if I was to die, or saying another child was to die, it's heartbroken. Your family is going to be heartbroken. Me wanting to leave the United States, my family is heartbroken because I want to leave. Because this country is not wanting to do something about it. Not wanting to protect kids. Not wanting to just only protect kids, but protecting adults. And allowing them to have this access instead of reducing that access, and allowing parents to be parents instead of government being parents. Government shouldn't be at the forefront of parenting. We should be at the protection of public things. We should be, government shouldn't be at the hands of things. For me, I always, and I said this in a recent podcast on my radio station, that I actually have recently done, and I've done a little bit of that because I've been focused on it, but to be honest with you, seeing people get harmed or hurt is a ridiculous agenda that is being put down by the Republican Party, even some democratical parties wanting to reduce our freedom. I'm not going to tell you that they're wanting to put hands at Facebook, or because a monopolistic style in this country is wrong. We should allow TikTok, we should allow YouTube, we should allow Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social. We should allow many different forms of social media, or allowing many different forms of companies to be in here. But we have what? A monopolistic stance? Canada has it too. Everywhere you go, there's some way, shape, or form that we're all being told by the government that they don't care. They don't care about what we say. They are lined with their pockets and money to be supported by them. Money should not be the issue of the forefront. Money is you're a greedy little son of a bitches. I don't care if I swear with this one, because greedy people are the bane of this. Greed is going to get you nowhere. But guys, I'm signing off here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember this. 2 things I'm going to tell you. 1, be kind to somebody. Being kind, being loving to your fellow Americans, or your fellow neighbor, from whatever country you belong to. Show that you love your next door neighbor. Show them that you care enough for them. If you don't, they might resent you and not show love to you. You should show your trans people, your LGBTQ people, your many different things. One of the things, I am on TikTok now, guys. One of the things that I liked so much was from a senator that is willing and said that we're different and we're all different. Doesn't matter who we are. A single shooting doesn't mean that it's going to happen. They're using it as a demographic to say, oh, black people are the primary people that are being targeted. No. Black people, white people, Asians, Native Americans, whatever race you belong to, whatever sex you belong to, whatever gender, whatever ideology you belong to, there are people that are hurting people. Not only do they, Proud Boys, white nationalists, whatever the Democratic left side of the things are, this is a ridiculous. People don't care about our freedom. I've watched TikTok on the TikTok ban stuff on TikTok, and seeing a lot of these people are not wanting to listen and being dumb idiots. Politicians are dumb, can be dumb sometimes, and don't know a lot of things about technology. Because what? Because a millennial grew up with this technology and knows how to use this technology more than a somebody who is 50 years old. You know, I know more about technology than my mom does. You know, because I grew up on this stuff. Not everybody understands these things and should be consulted with somebody who does. Look at Linus Tech Tips. Linus Tech Tips knows a lot about technology more than I can say. Okay? Saying that you have all these things, it's not right to put people at risk. Because you're at risk for national security. Look what happened with Linus. Linus Tech Tips had an open session token. That happened to what? Because it was under YouTube? Because it was under a platform that has vulnerabilities? Guess what? There are vulnerabilities in everything. Nothing is perfect. People say that what are the other things that people, I'm going to quote, that there is somebody at work that says that there's this thing that anything is, that nothing, that this phone that, I'm not going to name the phone, I'm not going to say this. Actually, I will say it. The Q phone. Saying that there won't be any ways to hack it. Unfortunately, that is not true. If anything can be hacked, doesn't matter what it is. Look what happened. You know, you would think that YouTube is okay, or you think LastPass is a great place, or NordPass, or a VPN that's, you know, or seeing something happen because your favorite website goes down or your favorite thing goes down. Guess what? It's targeted by what? Hacks, because people don't like to see like to hear things, or because they're being stupid. Some people are stupid, and I'm going to name a few names like Alex Jones and a few politicians that don't care about you. They only care about the money in their greedy, lined pockets. They only care about They only care about being greedy. Being greedy is ridiculous. Saying that you need to be having greed towards money. Money is the whole bane of this existence. Being greedy is not the option. We shouldn't be greedy at anything. And guys, to be honest with you, I have a whole host of shoes back here. Okay? Am I being greedy because I want the shoes? Of course. Am I being greedy? No. It's because am I getting away? No, it's because a lot of times I do buy shoes because I'm going to wear them. If I'm not going to stand there and use it, to be honest with you, why should I buy it? To be honest with you, that's the whole bane of this existence. The whole reason is don't buy. If you're not going to use it, don't buy it. Even if you think you might have a use case for it, don't buy it. If you know you have a use case and you're going to use it and you're going to buy it, you need to use it, go for it. To be honest with you, I want to buy a pair of shoes. Okay? I wanted to buy a pair of shoes from Adidas. Do I have a use case for it? Of course I do. But do I have the rights to go out and buy something because of I have issues with a lot of things? Of course I do. There a lot of times we go out and buy things because we have access to company stuff or we have access to goods. It doesn't mean that we should always be there to protect kids. Or we shouldn't always be there to protect kids. Yes, we need to protect kids. Okay, we need to protect kids, but in order to protect kids, we need to have mental health in this country, allow medical care to be access to kids. That is giving the fundamental of allowing kids to be protected. if we protect kids in the United States by allowing medical care to be given to them, by mental health, trans protections. You know, for me, if I was to want to protect trans people, I would allow for everything except for the surgeries until 18. Or allow everything except for the surgeries. Surgeries under 18. Surgeries would be protected at 18, because that would mean that if the child is absolutely 100% for sure, they have time to take and reverse course on these puberty blockers. Okay? It gives them time to say, hey, I'm not going through with this. If I don't want to go through with this, I can detransition. Just because you detransitioned shouldn't be at the forefront of why you detransitioned. Because you didn't go and get puberty blockers, or because you didn't go and get this and you finally realize you've gone through puberty. Sometimes kids don't. Sometimes kids do go through puberty. With the hormonal replacement therapy, they go through puberty. And that is something. But because you just want to harm people in doing so, it's ridiculous. This country's failing. Because this country, I feel like, is going downhill faster than I can say, boo. To be honest with you, this country's falling from a democratic country, a democracy, a country of a democratic republic. Remember, this country is failing. This country is falling to communistic nature, then falling into being the country that it was intended to be when it was founded. This country is the bane of being destroyed because of all these people who are trying to change the things going on in this country. The biggest person that has this, not only is it American people, but Satan's trying to destroy this country, and he's trying to destroy it to get rid of it. This country needs to be protected in all matters of life. To be honest with you, this is the whole reason why I would leave this country, is because I know what's going on wrong in this country. But if I leave this country, guess what? If I leave this country, Canada, if I go to Canada, or if I go to Netherlands, or if I go to another country, there's always going to be issues wherever you go. But if you can find ways to protect your life, leave that country if you have to. I am. Because this country is not willing and wanting to stand for trans rights, or standing for LGBTQ and protecting all lives. This country isn't safe for any LGBTQ person. This country isn't protected by national security. This country, yes, it's protected by national security, but it is not full force. Anyways, guys, I gotta go to bed. I've dragged this on way too long. It's been 33 minutes long. I'm ranting here, raving about the government of the United States being harmed in any way, shape, or form. Yes, there are places like Michigan. I mean, not Michigan, but there are places like Minnesota or California, Nevada, places like that are willing and starting to protect trans rights and protecting these people. But I'm afraid that's not going to do us any good, because you have the government who wants to do it. You have Florida that's wanting to harm people because of whatever. Saying that, if that parent, just because they're trans, that parent that is being brutally harming that person in Florida, that person will get that child back. That is not right. Just because they leave, because their primary mother or father leaves the state, they can be called in to go back to that country or that state because they're trans. Because they can go after targeting these people. Targeting kids, targeting family, and targeting them just because they're losing parental rights in this country. That is the whole big reason I hate this country. I am starting to hate this country more than I'm starting to like it. Because this country is not safe anymore. This country, my safety rating on this country is here. One final thing. I'm going to look up here. Okay. 85 countries. Okay? Okay? Where does United States sit as safety? According to US News, which is the first thing that came up, the United States is at 47 on the rank of safety. Now, to be honest with you, I think that's going to be a lot worse. 47 in the United States. Now, according to North America, the 3 countries that have the highest rank, that have the safetiness. Now, you have Mexico, United States, and Canada. Mexico's safety is a lot worse than the United States, according to US News, but Canada is way better than the United States in terms of safety. Overall, the United States is number 4 ranked. What are the top 3 countries? What are the top countries ranked for safety? To be honest with you, Switzerland, Denmark, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Canada, Netherlands, Austria, and Australia are the top 10 most countries that are the safest. Why? I don't see Japan on here. Belgium, Ireland, Luxembourg, Portugal, Germany. Japan is 16th on the country for safety. Now, I'm not saying that all these countries are safety concerns. All these countries have safety issues. Everywhere you go, you're going to have some safety issues. But you're going to have safety concerns. Okay? Now, if we wanted to say, okay, if we were to say, just to give an overall ranking, the best countries overall are Switzerland, Germany, Canada. At number 1 is Switzerland, 2 is Germany, Canada is number 3, United States is number 4, Sweden is number 5, Japan is ranked number 6, Australia is number 7, United Kingdom is number 8, France is number 9, and Denmark is number 10. So if you live in any of these countries that are overall the best countries according to US News, these countries are your greatest protection. LGBTQ, however, if you rank that, overall rankest countries are Iceland, Canada, and a couple of other, Netherlands, are all subjected to being the safest countries for LGBTQ rights. Everywhere else, you are being bombarded, bombasted, and being destroyed in these countries because of your existence. Okay? You know, if we were to say, if we were to say adventure, okay, and we say friendly, Okay? The most friendliest countries: New Zealand, Spain, Italy, Greece. Canada's number 5 on that list. Netherlands, Australia, Norway, Finland, and Ireland. All top of those are all considered friendly countries according to US News. The final one that I do want to say fun. For best rated in fun. Okay? This means that fun adventure, friendly adventure. Okay? So these are adventures that you can have very good. Spain, Brazil, Italy, Mexico, Thailand, Greece, Australia, Costa Rica, New Zealand, and the United States are all considered in that category of fun. Sorry guys, I'm not showing you guys this on top of things, but if we were to say North America, Mexico, United States, Canada is 18th on fun, but I'm pretty darn sure that Canada is better for tourism than the United States is. Why do you think Canada has better attributes? Because Canada has good for tourism, being able to scenic, for looking at just the top United, nope. Canada is better scenically. Canada has a lot more in terms of scenic stuff that you can see than the United States. To be honest with you, going through and seeing all this, just telling you why is Canada better? Well, it's seeing that you have things that are, like sexy. It's like, quality of life. Let's see. Safety. Okay? If we just say quality of life, just in general, quality of life is way better in Canada than it is in the United States and in Mexico. The quality of life, just in general, Canada ranks better in quality of life than any other country. Guys, to be honest with you, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to get off. I'm going to go to bed. Actually, no. I'm going to start. I'm going to say, look. Guys, I'm going to leave it there for today's video. I'm going to be doing one on the safetiness and the coordination of these countries, the United North America, and finding and telling you a lot about these national rankings and where these places and what they are felt for. To be honest with you guys, there's a lot of things in this country that I deem safe in this country, that are a lot better in this country than in other countries. But safety in this country, if a country has higher safety rating than the United States, I'm always going to gravitate towards that if the country has a lot better safety. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, I've taken this on for 45 minutes long. My ranting about the United States government, or ranting about government, I'll put that here instead of just the U.S. government. But anyways, guys, we will see you guys later. Bye-bye!